What's up guys, Enkiri here, and welcome to vlog number 91. And I've got a pretty good one for you guys today. I know most of you guys have already seen the clip I'm going to show here of me zombie squatting 350 pounds for a strong triple, but whatever. I like to keep these vlogs chronological, and sometimes I need to use some of that footage for other purposes before I get to it, but I don't think that's any reason for me to skip out on making the vlog. Anyway though, so we kick it off with the zombie squats here, and then afterwards I move on to the heavy sled drag, which I paired up with a little bit of one-legged bounding, which is something I'm not very good at, but I was just bored and needed a little bit of a change of pace. So with the zombie squats here, I think this was maybe like the 4th or maybe even the 5th week where I had switched over to these exclusively and stopped doing the regular front squat. I think I had hit PR triples of like 325 pounds, 330 pounds, 335 pounds, and 340 pounds up to this point for sure. And then my hope going into this session here was that I would be able to knock out a solid triple with 345 pounds and just kind of snag myself another little 5-pound PR, which is always fun. But so I started going through the session and everything was going all right. Nothing out of this world or anything like that. The sets with 285 and 310 were both pretty damn solid, but those should never pose too much of an issue anyway. And then the plan was gonna be a triple with 330 pounds, and then if that went well, I would attempt 345 for 3. Now, what I like to do with these types of workouts where you're planning to ramp up to something heavy like this is, you have to have a contingency plan, essentially, in case the really heavy set just isn't there that day. This is just training after all, it's not testing. So you still want to get a good training effect even if you're not at 100% that day. You don't want the whole workout to be wasted just because of that, because it doesn't have to be that way. So what I like to do is right before the heaviest set of the day, I force myself to do one that's just 15 to 25 pounds lighter. This ensures that regardless of what happens afterwards, I'm always gonna get in a solid session because I just hit a clean and smooth set of 3 with pretty much 95% or slightly higher of the top weight that I was planning to use that day anyway, and you know that that weight is always going to be a manageable weight pretty much no matter what the circumstances are. Now, does this potentially take away from the absolute heaviest set of the day by fatiguing you a little bit? Possibly. But you have to eat your veggies before you can eat your dessert, and in the long run, I think you'll definitely get better results by doing it this way, because it forces you to put in manageable and solid sets before trying to push yourself over your limits. And these clean and consistent wins mean much more in the long run than the 5 or 10 pound PR you're trying to hit today. Don't let the Instagram stars and their daily PRs fool you. That shit's not real, not when you're drug-free. For squats though, I do like to use a system loosely based around the idea of RPE. I was doing that shit before it even had a name, and I think it can work really well if you know what you're doing and can train the squat multiple times per week. Anyway though, all that said, by the time the set with 330 pounds rolled around, things were actually feeling pretty solid. So I made the old executive decision to jump to 350 instead of 345 for the top set of the day, and the rest is history. I was able to crank out a damn solid triple here for a 10-pound PR, which is pretty good stuff for me. I was really happy with that, and I knew there was still a good bit more left in the tank before I would reach a true 3-rep max. And then after the squats, I moved on to a little bit of heavy sled dragging, which I paired up with some one-legged bounding. Now for the bounding, I know you guys have seen me do 2-legged bounding at this point, which is one of my favorite jumping variations. Basically just do a broad jump and then just keep immediately rebounding off the ground into another broad jump. And I had been doing single broad jumps in this slot for a little while, but I was just kind of bored and looking for a slight change of pace. So I decided it would be a good idea for me to mess around with some form of single leg jumping. So I just decided to do a little bit of one-legged bounding, which is where you alternate legs with each jump going for distance. I only have so much space, so I was just taking a small 2-step lead in and then doing 3 jumps off each leg. It's pretty fun stuff though. Like I said, it's not really my forte, but it's still good to practice this sort of thing, at least occasionally. Obviously, I could go a good bit farther with a longer lead-in, but that's no big deal. I can't quite remember what the best distance here was, but I think it was definitely something over 50 feet. And then along with these jumps, I just threw in a few ramp-up sets of heavy sled drags. These were pretty damn solid all the way up, I would say. The second to last set was with 550 pounds, and honestly, that felt really easy for me. And then my PR at the time here was 600 pounds. So for the final set, I loaded up 610 pounds and just went for it to give myself another small PR. And it was tough, but I was able to take it for a solid ride of at least 15 yards or so. So I'm happy with that as well. And hopefully I can keep stringing these PRs together for a little while longer, and we'll see where it all takes me. I haven't been doing too many of these heavy drags lately because I've been focusing on resisted sprinting instead, but a 700-pound sled drag with wood on concrete would be pretty badass, I think. So I'll make it a point to get myself there eventually. Anyway, I think that's about all I got for today, guys. Please be sure to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And definitely leave me some love in the comments down below. Keep training hard, and I will catch you guys next time.